name is Callie from the library. I met Joni a few months ago at a retreat, and I was just really impressed with her vitality and her spirit and her strength. And I just want to thank her for coming on and talking about her story, and her family is here too, and her friend Heather and her son, and the three of them made an amazing rap video. And I'm going to turn it over to Joni and let her introduce herself.
Thank you, Callie, for inviting us all. And my name is Joni. I'm the mom of Sequoia and also Daisy. I have a daughter, and you'll see her in the video at the end. And I was diagnosed 10 years ago when Sequoia was 14 and my daughter was 12. And it's been a ride. It's been different, at different points in life. It's like a bunch of different chapters all in that 10 years. And you'll learn a little bit about it from the video, and as well as the answers and the Q&A section. So Sequoia, how about you?
Yes, thank you so much, Callie, for having us. I'm Sequoia. I'm Joni's son. I'm 24 years old. I graduated from college in May of 2021, and that's very relevant because, as we'll talk about later, this video was my senior project for graduating college. I was in a program that focused on all kinds of digital media with a focus on video production, and now I'm working in the media industry. And my mom and Heather and I worked together throughout the first half of 2021 on putting this video together, and I'm looking forward to talking more about it. So go ahead, Heather.
I had a call from Joni saying one day, "Hey, do you rap?" And I said, "Not very well. My son has this idea for a video." And we had talked about dancing before, because when I met Joni, she was teaching this really cool thing, this really cool exotic pole dancing class for people in the area. And she was amazing. And I thought, you do pole dancing with Parkinson's? How cool is this woman? I must know you. We've never met. So we've met online, and we created this video together based on what Sequoia came up with, he's just brilliant. And he taught us both to rap. So I just want to say that was the extraordinary feat to me, that not only did he finish this fun video, making Parkinson's, putting Parkinson's on the map in a lot of places, but he also wrote and directed every bit of it. So, wow, I got lucky.
Okay, Callie, you want to show, or Sequoia, actually, you want to show the video? No?
Yes, are we all ready to watch it now?
I think so. We got everybody here.
Yes,
All right, let's do it.
Oh man, that's fun.
That's
Yeah.
fun. Just amazing. Wonderful. If you arrived a little bit late, I just want to say hello again. And we just finished watching the video Slim Shaky. I will send a follow-up email with the link so that you can watch it in its entirety. But I do have some questions for our guests this evening, and then we can open it up to everyone else who would like to ask a question. All right. So for Sequoia, what made you decide to create a rap video featuring your mom and Heather?
Well, it all started years ago at the dinner table. I was just making some banter with my family, and my mom is not really a huge fan of rap music. She's not really someone who raps on a regular basis or at all. And so I thought it would be funny if she tried rapping. And since I was going to college for digital media, I was like, what if you became a rapper, Mom? I'll make you a rap video. And she just rolled her eyes, and she never thought it was going to happen. I never thought it was going to happen. I was just joking. And I kept up this bit for a while until I think it was a few months later. I was like, hey, thought of your rapper name, Slim Shaky. And we all thought that was pretty funny. But even then, just a joke. It wasn't until my final semester of college when I had to pick a final project. And this was soon after I had started thinking a lot more about how I can have a positive impact on the world around me. And so I saw an opportunity to uplift, to share my mom's story with lots of other people in a very real, honest, but also uplifting and fun way. And and that's valuable for my mom, for everyone with Parkinson's, and for the world as a whole. Then also, yes, I would have a senior project. And then this got even better when I heard about Heather Kennedy, an awesome Parkinson's advocate who is like the perfect person for this.
That's my sister, baby.
She's yeah, she's awesome. She's done so much Parkinson's media work. And so I heard about her through my mom. I reached out and I said, hey, this is a really interesting project I'm thinking about doing. Would you like to join? She was thrilled and we were thrilled. And now we had 2 Slim Shakies. And so that is the origin story of how Slim Shaky came to be.
Amazing.
But there was one small snafu. Do you remember what it might have been?
What are you referring to?
I was getting brain surgery in the middle of it. So
Yes.
he was so
Yes.
patient and waiting for me to come out of brain surgery and to see if I could still move. And that was before I was programmed. So yeah, it worked out pretty well.
Wow.
Yes, amazingly well. I kept saying to Sequoia, contact her sooner before the surgery. You don't understand. It's a big deal. Surgery is a big deal. But it all worked out very nicely. Very good.
Amazing. Have you heard any feedback from Parkinson's patients or from their families regarding your work?
Yes, I have. It's been very heartwarming to see comments on the YouTube video, even a couple emails from people who share how they feel either they are Parkinson's patients or people with Parkinson's who feel validated by seeing some of their experiences in the video, or people who know someone with Parkinson's or otherwise are related, have some connection to the cause. And they just talk about how it makes them laugh, it makes them cry, everything in between. And that's exactly what it's all about. That's like, that's obviously that's the point, to share that experience with other people. And so I'm so happy that that's happening and that they feel inspired to share that with us. So yeah, I mean, like, you know, we're kind of desensitized to big numbers next to internet videos, but thousands of views, I'm never going to see even a fraction of the people that this has reached, the impact that it has had. None of us will. But I'm very glad now that I, my mom, Heather, we each played a part in creating that experience that's so much bigger than like me going up to one person and talking to them.
How true. How has this making this video affected your life? Changed your perspective at all?
Yeah, yeah, it has in a bunch of different directions. One part of the process of making Slim Shaky that was very important to me is that while I did write the lyrics and I don't have Parkinson's disease, I sat down with my mom, I sat down with Heather, and I asked them about their experience of Parkinson's disease. I took notes, and from those notes that reflect their experiences, I wrote the verses, and then I checked with them to make sure the verses were accurate. In doing so, I learned a lot about how Parkinson's affects my mom and how my mom deals with Parkinson's, and of course the same for Heather. So I learned about Parkinson's in that regard, but I can say more like for me personally, internally, this has been a hugely positive example of what can happen when I take one of my wild ideas and actually like spend the time bringing it into reality. And it's reassuring. It's a confidence booster for me personally to know that if I apply myself to something like this, and if I'm able to put all these building blocks together and work on something, then I can, and anyone can create this huge positive impact, like raising thousands of dollars for Parkinson's research, like creating this viewing experience that is so impactful for thousands of people.
In addition to the World Parkinson Coalition. Where else is your video posted?
It's in a few different places. It's gotten around, which I guess I'm kind of happy that that's a difficult question to answer, because like, yes, I uploaded it on my YouTube channel. I think it's like basically the only video up there. My mom posted it on her Facebook account, and that's like probably the next largest place where it exists. And then yes, on the World Parkinson Coalition YouTube channel, it's picked up some traction. But then also in working with Team Fox of the Michael J. Fox Foundation, we coordinated for them to post on their social media. So their Facebook account, their Instagram account, and that's a couple more thousand views from that. And then
The news.
And the news. That's right. That's the other big one. So we've been very fortunate to have some press coverage from a few different local and state news outlets. And so I don't have the viewership numbers, but I mean, like Fox 61 was one of the bigger ones. And so everyone who was watching Fox 61 that morning saw they got a taste of Slim Shaky, and they heard from me and my mom about that experience. So it's gotten around. There's an article in the Hartford Courant, and I mean, we're here right now, and that's something that I didn't foresee when I was releasing this, that releasing the video creates all these other opportunities to share it just beyond like someone clicking on the YouTube video.
Just amazing. For Heather and Joni, I have questions for you. First of all, you both are so amazing in this video. I don't know if you have any performance experience, and if you want to touch on that, or were you just coached so superbly by Sequoia?
Joni, you want to go first?
Sure. I don't have any prior performing experience. I was superbly coached by my son.
Love it.
And it took a while, like just the breathing, and I did it all in one take, the voice. And so it took a while. We were very patient with one another, which was good. And I would come in my room and I'd practice and I'd practice and I'd practice. And we finally did it. And that was good. And then just going out and doing the video session worked out nicely too. The first time he took me out, it was freezing. It was like in February. And I had my coat on, and he's like, no, you gotta take your coat off. And I'm like, we're just gonna be here like 5-10 minutes, right? And I tried it, and then he's like, all right, keep your coat on. And then we stayed there for like 15-20 minutes. That was it.
Yeah.
But we would go out like here and there for an hour or a half hour. That was nice.
So you really were
I know how to
shaking.
move my butt. What?
We're shaking.
Yes. So I know I'm comfortable with moving my body. So that was fine, the little dancing here and there. But the vocalization of rapping was totally new. So Heather, what's your experience?
I've had a very different experience. I grew up with Sugar Hill Gang and LL Cool J, and then later on Tribe Called Quest and all those other things. And I remember reading about like DJ Herc doing the first thing, and I thought it was like a democratic revolution of music, and I was all into it. But I can't rap. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, there was never a chance. Like, rapping requires so much breath control, and if you miss a beat, like, you know, if you're singing, you can screw it up a little bit, but rapping is unforgivable. So I have a real respect for rap. I don't even touch it until enter Sequoia Lowe. It took its time. He did all the verses. Nobody can believe that a person without Parkinson's wrote those verses, because everyone's like, how did he know that, like, this is how we feel, and you made it into a fun time. And you don't usually put fun with Parkinson's. So this is really revolutionary. I've never seen anything like it. And when people say to me, I love your video, I'm like, it's not my video. This is, this was Sequoia. He was a senior in high school at the time. You need to meet Sequoia Lowe, because who else could have done this with us? I mean, rapping's hard.
Right.
So it's all you, man.
Brilliant. Joni, can you explain how you came to name your Parkinson's disease?
Sure. I hated the idea of saying I have Parkinson's. And I felt like it was a part of me, but it wasn't me. And I found myself doing self chitter-chatter in my head, and especially doing yoga. And there would be a balancing pose, and I'd be like, okay, I'm going on my left foot now, trying to balance my left leg. And are you going to cooperate with me? Is this going to work? Is this even possible? Can I balance on one leg that is shaking? And so I felt like it was a part of me, but not me. And so I wanted to give it a name. So I came up with Penelope, and and actually started blogging about it a while ago in the beginning of my diagnosis, like the first 2 or 3 years. And I would ask it questions like, nobody told me you were coming. Why are you here? It's time for you to leave now.
Please
So
go.
that was like therapeutic for me, and I think it was helpful for other people as well. And I'm thinking of returning back to writing and doing more stuff like that. So
Oh, fantastic.
I came up with That's how I came up with Penelope.
What about you, Heather? Did you name yours?
I did not. I come from a very creative family, though. One of them is here, Jared, who's an excellent rapper and who taught me. He can do sort of the beatboxing thing, and we used to, push each other around in the cars on my side. But then the one unification we had was music. But I never named it anything except for terrible words that I can't say here. I don't fight it. I don't use that language. I don't fight it because I think that's like punching yourself in the head. But I definitely
I
didn't.
feel the same way.
Yeah.
I don't use words I fight. I live with.
Work. It's like,
Good to know. That's a very positive outlook. That's probably why you just have like an inner peace, both of you. So, what is a challenge you face on a regular basis? And this can go to all three of you, because family members have challenges too.
big time. Sequoia.
Watch it, Sequoia. Be good. I'm kidding. Say what you want to say. Go ahead, Heather. You probably got the most to say about this.
Well, just as a mother, I know that this affects my children. I know it affects my brothers, who are here, my mother. It makes them sad to see someone suffer when there's not a lot they can do. They feel powerless. People don't really know how to help. So what I always say to other people with Parkinson's, if there's anyone here with Parkinson's or a care, make sure that you communicate as well as you can, because it's really hard for people. They want to help. It's like torture. It's like watching a member of your family be hurt and you can't help them. You can only just toss them a towel into the ring and you're getting pummeled. So it's really important that we communicate what's going on as clearly as possible, because it is tough to be around. Yeah. What do you think, Sequoia?
Well, I've been trying to think of things that I find challenging about supporting my mom who has Parkinson's disease. But it's been like the progression of the disease has been so slow from my perspective that there was never this moment of, whoa, I have to do all these things to support my mom. It just kind of happened. And I feel that as she has changed, I have changed, and the rest of the family has changed in order to best support and uplift her. So, there are definitely times when it's difficult, times when we disagree on whether she should do something, but we're very fortunate that we all have strong, positive relationships in our family, and that's never become like a major point of tension.
Yes.
Thank you all for sharing.
Good job, Sequoia. What did you say, Callie?
Thank you all for sharing that. That's very helpful.
Yeah.
What is one strategy that helps you with your day-to-day challenges?
Patience.
What's that?
Self-compassion. And self-compassion.
How has your performance in Slim Shaky affected you?
I'm very touched. I'm sorry, go ahead, Heather.
Oh, there you go.
I was very touched, and sometimes it's brought me to tears, the end, because with Penelope, how Sequoia wrote those words, my son wrote those words, and my daughter was saying them, and it just, like, that's how I want to live vibrantly and as intense and wonderful as I can be. And like, they got that. I never said that to them. They just got it. and it chokes me up sometimes when I watch it. I held it together this time, but yeah, so that's just been, just amazing, to see what Mama taught them. And well, my daughter calls me Mama, and Sequoia calls me Mom, but what I taught them was really sweet.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It was cool. It's a cool family to work with. I got lucky. I want to go back one question. You say what helps
Yes.
us.
Yes.
I'm going to go with music makes the people come together. And my mother was a music teacher and my brother's a music teacher, and we're all very musical. And the second thing is the joy in movement. It's just so great. And then the third that I lean on all the time, I have to have a spiritual practice. It is absolutely imperative that I don't think that I'm the highest power of all. Like there's got to be something to lean on because times do get rough. Those are my big three: movement and music and that prayer and meditation.
I noticed that you have quite a flair for the wardrobe too. Did you do all your own wardrobe?
I changed so many times and I had like powder all over everything, makeup all over everything. It was so much fun. It was such a riot. Really. Thank you for that opportunity, Sequoia.
Of course, it was so fun getting the footage.
When my wardrobe people left, I was pissed.
So I was going to ask a question about your involvement with the Michael J. Fox Foundation, but maybe we should also mention the World Parkinson, not with an S, Coalition. Want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So, so I'll start with Team Fox and the Michael J. Fox Foundation, because that's first chronologically, that makes sense to me. The release plan for Slim Shaky, as I originally conceived it, was first I would submit it as my final project at college, but then I would release it in some way and launch it alongside a fundraiser online to raise money for Parkinson's research, or otherwise to support people with Parkinson's in some way. And the way that things fell into place was such that I reached out to the Michael J. Fox Foundation. They directed me to Team Fox, which is their fundraising arm. And they were very supportive and encouraging. And they had the tools for me to very easily make a fundraising page. And on top of that, they were willing to spread the word on their social media about Slim Shaky. So it was a coordinated push. There were definitely a few family meetings at the dinner table with a bunch of laptops saying, how are we going to do this post? How are we going to do that post? We need to let these people know so they can share it. And so they've been very receptive and easy to work with. And it's been a positive experience. I mean, without their fundraising tools, we wouldn't have been able to raise over $5,000 for Parkinson's research. And then, then more recently than that, the World Parkinson Congress is coming up in July, and they have a video competition where anyone can submit a video that they have made about Parkinson's disease. And so it was actually Heather who first introduced this to me and gave me the thought. It's like, hey, you got to submit this for WPC. And so I did. And of about 50 entrants, about 50 submissions, as of just a week or two ago, Slim Shaky was selected as one of the top 12 videos, which is a huge honor. We're all really happy about it. This means that all of the top 12 videos, including Slim Shaky, will be on display on some screens at World Parkinson Congress this July. And in addition to that, there's a grand prize winner of the 12, which has already been picked, but not announced. And there is a People's Choice Award, the voting for which opened recently and will continue until April 20th. And so we haven't made our big social media push yet. We're going to be asking everyone who's inclined to vote to help us out and get us some votes for that People's Choice Award.
And may I share that link with our viewers tonight?
Please do.
Okay, I'll send a follow-up email to everyone here with that link. Thank you, Sequoia.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, the World Parkinson's Coalition, or Parkinson Coalition, excuse me, is a tri-annual event that happens with the World Parkinson's Congress. Parkinson Congress, and my brother Jared is going to be attending, and my friend Kelly, who are both here as volunteers.
Yeah, baby.
As volunteers in Barcelona. I'm glad he's not beatboxing.
You say it's in Barcelona?
Yes,
Oh.
yes. The difference. Last time it was in Kyoto, and before that it was in Portland. So this will be my third. I spoke at the last one, and I'm so excited to be an ambassador. They help. I think there was like 60 something countries there last time. So it really is a world audience. Researchers, everything Parkinson's from around the world. Yeah, it's really fun.
What an amazing opportunity. And they're lucky to have you.
Now we'll be dancing.
Hey. This is a question for all of you. What about the production of the video are you most proud?
Sequoia. Joni.
You can go, Mom.
Okay. I'm the most proud of the lyrics that he came up with, that he got it, like that he interviewed each of us individually and he put, different words to it, but shared exactly what we're going through. And I was just, wow, and the music, it all goes well, but the lyrics, I think, are the best part of it. Thank you, Sequoia. You did good.
You sure did.
Proud mama.
I can say for me, genuinely, the thing I'm most proud of is just that it's done, that I did it, that all the pieces came together. I have a lot of ideas and thoughts on things that I could do, maybe should do, and it's difficult for me to decide which things to pursue, to prioritize, to put the time in. And it's also difficult sometimes for me to actually then see things through to the end, especially something with this many moving parts and deadlines. And so I'm glad that this is one idea that made it. And that's in part due to my work, but also obviously the hard work of my mom, the hard work of Heather, and the support of my college professor and the support of my whole family.
And that was a fun part for me too, to watch this family work together was so incredibly heartwarming. I get a little choked up. I just love the support that I get from my family and friends. And this family was bonded. Like they all participated. They all came together to support Joni. And Joni, I don't know if you guys know this about Joni, because for those of you here who haven't met Joni yet, she is really selfless and kind and thoughtful and never complains. It's actually shocking. I complain to her all the time. She's like, I've never even heard her. We have the same thing, she could easily go, yeah, I know. So, she's really been a nice support for me all these years. And to meet Sequoia, I mean, wow. There was a joke that we told, and I don't want to be inappropriate or anything, but I often say, I probably wouldn't be with women as, a lesbian if I had met boys like you when I was in high school. That's my stupid joke for the day. But seriously, Sequoia is like the total amazing intellect. You can talk to him about any subject. He's fit, he's fun, he's patient, he's kind, he's thoughtful. Joni, nice job. Nice job, Mom. Really, wow, what a guy. Like, I was honored to work with you. I'm expecting to see more videos, by the way, about anything.
Same here. Same here.
Music videos? I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Now, you probably all have ways that you express your creativity and maybe you use as kind of a therapy for yourself. Can you talk a little bit about that, each of you? I can see what you might have in the background, Heather. Yours might be a little more obvious, but
welcome to my insomnia. I paint when I can't sleep. What about you guys?
Well, I was doing the writing in the beginning, and that was like therapy, and writing to Penelope or just writing about my experience. I remember one of the blogs where like people would ask, how are you doing? How are you feeling with Parkinson's? I'm like, it's not about how I'm feeling, it's how I'm dealing. Just getting through the day with this heavy weight of the unknown of what's ahead of me. again, I was in my early 40s when I got diagnosed, and, am I going to be bedridden in 3 years or 30 years? And I remember reading once that you can live a good quality life and maybe nobody will know you have Parkinson's up to 10 and 12 years. And I just hit 10 years. So I'm like, all right, I'm still standing. I'm doing good. What's in it? What am I in for though? And that was one of the blog posts as well. So that was just therapy, just expressing, sharing what I was going through. It was helpful.
And that's 10 years just since diagnosis. You've probably had it a lot longer, according to what our doctors
Actually, I'm one of the people who I can't reflect back on anything that I like.
Oh,
I
you didn't have
had
early
it for-
signs?
Yeah, no. I mean,
Wow.
I was diagnosed in August, and I went to my first doctor's appointment like 2 months before that. And like maybe for 4 months, I had a tiny little change in my typing at the keyboard, but that was it. It's not like, oh, well, 5 years ago this and 10 years ago that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I discovered it really early. So I have a long time till it gets bad. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, we all have signs that we recognize in hindsight. Like when my daughter was born, I noticed my first symptoms. That was 20 years ago. Yeah, but we didn't know it at the time. We didn't know what they were.
Right.
Yeah, the disease starts a long time before you're diagnosed usually.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for your courage and coming here today and talking with us and, being so generous of your time. I offered to pay them as presenters and they wouldn't accept anything from the library. And I even appreciate that even more because it just shows your sincere feelings about wanting to get, help other people and help spread the word. And in such a creative, fun way, Sequoia, really amazing. Does anybody else have any questions? At this point, I can stop recording and you can turn on your cameras and you can ask questions. So why don't we do that? I'll just say a sign-off line for the library. This has been a presentation with the Saratoga Springs Public Library with Joni Lowe, Sequoia Lowe, and Heather Kennedy. Thank you so much for being here.